All right, Cheezers, another recap, and I want to start this one off by saying I want to reiterate this in every video this week. On the 31st, late at night, probably around 10 or 9 p.m. Central. Well, I'll probably get the stream started a little bit before then, but I'll start a premiere. I'll do a little like watch party action for the final track countdown, number 1. We started the year off track countdowns, ending off the year with the track countdowns. So, again, I will be doing that again, 31st, around 10 or 9 p.m. Central. That's around when I'll probably have the stream started before, but that's around when I'll start the premiere, and we'll do that. And again, it's going to be a really that track countdown is not just going to be a track countdown. It's something MOA. So I don't want to spoil anything else. So let's get on with the recap. I don't want to spoil anything else. Just you're gonna want to see it. You're gonna want to see it. All right. Firestone Firehawk Season 3, the side series for the fall action or secondary series or season. Firestone Firehawk Season 3. So let's go through the season. Slaunch, great start. Almost swept the entire night on the quad. Great start. And then I bounced back. My only overall of the season, I had a really strong Claystone with 2 moto wins and a third. I took the overall there. Then Slaunch gets right back to it. 1-2-1. Incredible start. 1-1-3, 1-2-1. That's his start for the Gooses on the season. Absolutely insane. So he takes another overall there. And then we go to Road America, where it's very competitive. Slaunch, Detail, and I all take a moto. Detail ends up taking the overall on that one. And then Detail kind of catches fire a little bit. Goes 2-2-3. Or sorry, 1-1-3. I had Armada in the mind, I guess. 1-1-3. And he takes Cairo. I said 2 because I was thinking like 2 moto wins. Yeah, he kind of caught fire here. He took a close overall at Road America, but then took a pretty strong overall at Cairo. And this is the first Goose overall that Slaunch does not take. Although he still had a very good performance at Cairo. Don't get me wrong. He still had a good night. Then we go to Monza, where it's actually Detail taking 2 moto wins. Slaunch taking 1 at Monza. But Detail taking the overall on this one. And then we go to Waterbug, where Slaunch bounced back a little bit. Somehow, Detail still won the overall on the night. Because of the last moto, even though Slaunch won the first 2, Detail was close enough, and then he won the last one, and Slaunch had a rough last moto, so Detail still barely took the overall. That being said, with mulligans in play, this was still a pretty... Even though Slaunch didn't take this overall successfully, he still took 2 moto wins in the night. This was still a successful night. This was still a good night for Slaunch, don't get me wrong. So again, like factoring in the fact that like this last race is basically a mulligan for him, this is still a good night for him. Going into the last night, and with mulligans in play, Detail and Slaunch were so close going into this last night. And this last night was so unpredictable. We did a woo hog for the first time ever, and it was nuts. Camby, his first start, Firestone Firehawk, his first hog start, wins the first race. That just set the tone. That just set the tone for the night. Camby, not having done any of these, just coming out and swinging and winning the first one, that was like, okay, yeah, who the hell knows what's going to happen? So Camby takes the first one. No Slaunch or Detail or Luke on the podium. Detail and Slaunch both get on the podium for the second race, but Soul wins it. So Camby and Soul, 2 first-time winners in the season. I should mention Roman got that Everglade Moto 4, so Roman got a win here as well. And then Turkey takes Moto 3. Luke on the podium, Fireball on the podium again as well. And then Detail clutches up, wins the last moto. Fireball and myself 2-3 again. But Detail clutches up, wins that last moto. Does not take the overall. Actually, Detail, Slaunch, and I all had kind of a rough last night. So the 3 championship contenders throughout most of the season. I know it's mostly bouncing between Slaunch and Detail, but as you can see, I took the points lead here, I took the points lead here, and I was pretty close in second or third, like, the entire way as well. Even, I mean, I took the points lead one more time than Detail did until, like, the last couple nights, so it was a 3-way battle. It was a 3-way battle all the way to the end. I just know that looking at the schedule, it's kind of hard to see that. Looking at the schedule, it looks like more of just, like, a 2-way battle. But no, this was a 3-way battle, one of the first ones that we've had, like, this close of a 3-way championship battle in, like, a long time, which is really cool. And in the end, it was I was mentioning Slaunch in detail because in the end, it was most likely them, but I still had a chance. If I went rogue and went like 1-2-1-1 or something like that, like if I won like 3 motos, got a second, something like that, if I had a crazy performance in the last night, I still could have taken it. It was just a long shot. But anyways, so it was a 3-way battle all the way to the end, but that last night in particular, that last race was big for Detail, and the Mulligans, Slaunch had some really good races. He still won the most races in the regular season. He still won the Halo 4 Goose division. You can see there, the Host Goose. Slaunch got the Host Goose. Detail got the Hog Master. So Slaunch still had a really strong, strong season, but he just had a couple too many rough races, and in the end, there just weren't enough Mulligans. Like, if there was 7 or 8 Mulligans, it could have gotten spicy. If there was 7 or 8 Mulligans, maybe Slaunch could have won under that system. But with 6 Mulligans, it was just, he just had a couple too many rough races. And Detail, also, to give him credit, had a really good second half. Detail was definitely stronger in the second half. Slaunch was stronger in the first half. As you can see, Slaunch winning 6 races, myself winning 4 races, Detail only winning 1, Roman taking 1 in that first half. But then we get into the second half. Oh, I guess it'd be right here, technically. So Detail taking 2. And then that second half, though, Detail takes 5-6 moto wins in the second half. Slaunch still got 3, but Detail takes 6. I only got 1. And then we had the one-off winners here, Canby, Soul, Turkey. So again, it was kind of a story of like the halves of the season. The first half, Slaunch was really strong. The second half, Detail really brought it back. And again, like Slaunch did get 3 wins, but a lot of his non-win performances were not great, whereas a lot of his non-win performances were still pretty strong in the first half. So yeah, in the end, very, very close, very competitive. But in the end, Detail ends up clutching up at the end, taking that regular season championship. Great season though, and Slaunch and I both agree with it. Like one of the most fun, like competitive battles for like a championship. And just in the races as well. Like, this is a really fun one. This is a really memorable one. I'll definitely remember Firestone, Firehawk Season 3 in the future, because it was just super fun. It was cool to have a 3-way champ battle. It was cool that it was actually that competitive. It was cool how back and forth it was, and how we all had our different strengths and weaknesses at different points in the schedule and stuff like that. It was really cool, and it was really fun. So we all had a really good time with it. And we go into the grand finals. For the grand finals, Slaunch decided to smoke a bowl. So he didn't have as strong of a grand finals. The grand finals was mostly between Detail and I, although Detail definitely had the stronger performance. I only took 1 moto win at the very end, but I did have 3 second places. Soul took a moto win as well. Roman took a moto win too. Detail took 3, so he was the clear strong performer, and he took the grand finals championship. I had a pretty strong second place with many second places in the races as well, and a win to add on to that as well. Fireball had a couple second places, some other decent finishes. Roman had a lot of thirds. Detail taking a couple thirds there in his races that he did not win as well, and me taking 1 there too. Slaunch taking this second here at Cairo. So yeah, it was mostly between, well, actually, like, Detail, myself, and Roman, because Roman and I were very close, battling for a bit, but I got the edge on Roman with that last race. That last race helped me out a lot. And I was in the hole on Roman because he got me in the first 2 motos, and then I was just like getting back from that, finished ahead of him here, finished ahead of him, just ahead of him here, just ahead of him here, and then I got a nice boost here where he finished like 4th or 5th or something. I got the win. So it took the whole grand finals to do it, but eventually did it at the end. So that being said, even though it was technically a battle between us 3, Detail definitely had us. He had a really strong performance in this grand finals, and it was definitely his to lose. So just how I went back-to-back in the Reach Throwback, Detail went back-to-back in the Firestone Firehawk. Although Firestone Firehawk, in general, the grand finals and the regular season was a lot more competitive. In terms of like a spectator standpoint, and us like competing in it race-wise as well, it was definitely a lot more competitive and probably more fun from that too. But yeah, in the end, Detail takes the regular season and the grand finals title. Slaunch takes the Host Goose home, and Detail goes home the Hogmaster. Give you a quick look at the grand finals results, how those individual races went. Not going to break it down as heavily as I did in the Reach Throwback one, because there's only 6 drivers, and so you can see it pretty easily. And plus, the podium's already half the finish. We looked at the podium on the schedule, that's already like half the field, so. But yeah, that's how that went. Take a look at the points. This is how the points ended up. For What is going on with the music cheese? This is still Halo 2? This is wild. Anyways, yeah, it was very close between us three. It ended up being a 10-point gap from Detail to myself in third place, and a 6-point gap, Detail to Slaunch in second place. That being said, even though it wasn't insanely close after the last race, I just want to say, like, a 10-point gap from first to third and a 6-point from first to second is a very close championship battle. For a 26 moto season, that is very close. So I don't want to, you know, I want to make sure I stress that enough. Even though it was closer at points in the season, it ending off with this gap is still an incredibly competitive 3-way championship battle throughout the season. So don't get it twisted just because of how the last race, you know, how the points were after the last race. This is still extremely close for a championship battle of this many races. So this is definitely one for the history books still. But yeah, Detail taking the 4 overalls. He had the overall advantage on the season. Slaunch taking 2. I took 1. Fireball took 1. I should have mentioned that when I was looking at the schedule. Fireball actually won that last race overall. He didn't win a moto, but he finished so strong in all the races that he took the overall for that one. Slaunch taking 9 moto wins in the season. Detail taking 8. I took 5. And then we had Roman with 1, Soul with 1, Turkey with 1, Camby with 1. Detail with the most podiums, myself with the most top 5s. So yeah, again, we all had our, this is what I was saying, like, we all had our little advantages. It was close between us, but I had the most top 5s. I had the hard charger. Detail took the most podiums, he took the most overalls. Slaunch took the most moto wins. So we all kind of had our own, again, another thing making this battle so interesting, we all kind of had our own little advantages and disadvantages and things that we had on each other, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's pretty neat. Roman taking 4th place, Fireball 5th, not too far behind, Soul 6th, Turkey 7th, Opix 8th, 10 point, not too bad there as well. Vulcan, Real Deal, Camby, and Q. That's how it went. So yeah, Firestone, Firehawk. Oh, I'll show the... There you go. Hit you with the zoom, hit you with the zoom. I did that in the last one, there you go. And then here's the grand finals, how the grand finals ended up one more time as well. So it ended up being a 4-point gap, after the last race. Detail with 92, myself with 88, Roman with 83, Fireball with 80, Slaunch with 75, Soul with 74. Detail taking 3 moto wins in the night. Myself, Roman, and Soul all taking 1. Detail and I both taking 5 podiums, 6 top 5s. Roman with 4 podiums, 6 top 5s. Pretty strong performance out of him. Fireball with 2 and 5, not bad. Slaunch with 1 and 5, not bad. Soul with 1 and 2, taking that Monza win, which is a big one for him. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say about the Firestone Firehawk Season 3. Again, don't want to stress enough, this was, like, you can ask the other guys in the championship battle, and probably the drivers that were just, like, in the field as well. This is a fun one. This is a fun one, and this is definitely one for the history books. I did not expect... I thought it would be fun, but I didn't think that Firestone Firehawk Season 3, with this interesting Halo 4, H2A, Hog, hybrid, I didn't think that it would be as crazy as it was. I thought it'd be fun. I did not think it would be this crazy, and it ended up being very crazy, very competitive, and very fun. And the Hogs, in particular, pretty much the whole field, like, unanimously agreed after the season. It was like, this is the way forward. This is the way forward. We need to do... You know, we've done a couple hog races in the DSS. We did the 1 hog race in the TRS. Or technically it was that truck or whatever. But basically a hog. And now we've done like half of a hog season in the regular season. And then the grand finals here in this Firestone Firehawk Season 3. So pretty much the whole field after it unanimously agreed, like, no matter where we're finishing, these are fun as hell to race. And, like, we need to do a full-on hog series and give it a chance and see how it goes. So that sets the stage. That sets the stage for the future. That's one of the things that we want to start off with in 2023 for our seasonal secondary series is the hog season. I mean, the hog season technically might be like, it might technically be considered the main one, honestly, with how the infinite stuff is at the start. It kind of is, actually. It probably is considered the main one, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, so that's our first big series going into next year. Like, we've done the little bits of testing, we've done increasing amount of races and more testing. And again, like pretty much everybody agreed, like these are fun as hell. We need to do more with these, so that's what we're looking forward to. Firestone Firehawk Season 3 will be remembered not just for the championship battle, but also as like the stepping stone to getting some more hog races in and experimenting with them, having fun with them. So yeah, that'll be part of the legacy for it. All right, so that'll be it for the recap on the Firestone Firehawk Season 3 Grand Finals and regular season. Again, Detail taking home the championship for both of them. Luke taking the Reach Throwback sweep, Detail taking the Firestone Firehawk sweep. That's how it went for the fall series. Hope you guys enjoyed these recaps. And we're going to have some stats cheese to go with the next video tomorrow. So see you guys there.